Welcome to Making a Murder, Rubberducky YouTube channel. All right, you guys, I want to thank you for staying with me. We're getting ready to do part 15 of the CASO Investigative Reports, pages 141 through 150.
Page 41. Investigation continues. Investigator Mark Wiegert, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 142. Type of activity, supplemental report. Date of activity, 11/07/05. Reporting officer, Deputy Jeremy Hawkins. On 11/07/05, I, Deputy Jeremy Hawkins, of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, met with forensic scientists John Ertl, Charles Cates, and Gung Zhang from Wisconsin State Crime Lab, located in Madison, so they could go through the 4 barrels that were located in the trailer. During that time, John Ertl, Charles Cates, and Gung Zhang were going through the barrels. I remained at their location to get items when needed. The 4 barrels and also a rear door of a Suzuki Samurai were released to John Ertl while they were processing the barrels. John Ertl, Charles Cates, and Gung Zhang got through barrel marked number 4 and were in the process of going through the barrel number 2 when they got called back to the scene. Barrel marked number 4 was placed back on the trailer. After John Ertl, Charles Cates, and Gung Zhang left the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, I continued logging into items that were received from the Avery residence. Deputy Kenneth R. Matsuzak picked up the trailer and brought the trailer back to the scene. Deputy Jeremy Hawkins, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 143. Type of activity, supplemental report. Date of activity, 11/07/05 at 15:45 hours. Reporting officer, Deputy Kenneth R. Matsuzak. Venue, 12932 Avery Road, Manitowoc County. On Monday, 11/07/05 at approximately 15:45 hours, I, Deputy Kenneth R. Matsuzak of Calumet County Sheriff's Department, took into evidence a 50-gallon burning barrel. It was located on the northeast corner of Steve Avery's property. The burning barrel was filled approximately 1/4 away with burned debris. The burning barrel was placed in an enclosed trailer. I then transported the burning barrel to the Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Upon arrival at the Sheriff's Department, the trailer was backed into the maintenance garage. The garage was then secured and evidence tape was placed on the doors. It should be noted on the trailer in which the burning barrel was placed, there are 3 doors. All 3 doors were secured with a padlock. The keys for the padlocks were placed in the evidence locker at the Sheriff's Department. As of this time, I have nothing further to add to this report. Any further information will be added in a supplemental report. Deputy Kenneth R. Matsuzak, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 144. Type of activity, assist a missing person case. Date of activity, Monday, 11/07/05. Start of service at 1500 hours. End of service at 2318 hours. Reporting officer, Deputy Dan Kurcharski. On 11/07/05, I, Deputy Dan Kurcharski, was instructed to respond to the crime scene at State Highway 147 and Avery Road. Upon arrival, I was given the assignment to collect a rifle out of the residence located at 12928 Avery Road. At 1700 hours, I entered the residence and found the rifle next to the refrigerator on the east wall of the residence, very near the door that I entered. I photographed and collected the rifle. The rifle was a Marlin Model 60 SS 22 caliber semi-automatic rifle. I ended the collection at 1718 hours. I was then given the assignment to collect 3 weapons and ammunition from the new shop building near the residence at 12928 Avery Road. At 1723 hours, I entered the new shop building and entered the private office area in the northwest corner of the building. Inside the desk in the private office, I found 3 handguns and ammunition. I photographed and collected all 3 handguns. I found 2 .25 caliber semi-automatic pistols in the drawers on the right-hand side of the desk. On the left-hand side of the desk in the storage area, I found and collected a Colt .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. In the middle drawer of the desk, I located a Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department badge and a Green Bay Police badge. I collected these 2 badges also. I ended the collection of these items at 18:07 hours. I responded to the Sheriff's Office in Calumet County to enter the items that I collected into evidence storage. These items that had been collected were in my physical control from the time of collection until the time I entered them into evidence storage at the Sheriff's Department. After entering the evidence, I stood by at the north garage while Wisconsin State Crime Lab personnel processed several burn barrels for evidence. I was present from 1945 hours until they finished the processing for the night at 2113 hours. End of supplemental report for incident number LCA 051103009213. Deputy Dan Kurcharski, number 834, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 145. Type of activity, interview of Joshua R. Redant. Date of activity, 11:07:05. Reporting officer, investigator Mark Wiegert. On 11:07:05 at approximately 1900 hours, I, investigator Wiegert, met with Joshua Redant at the Avery's Auto Salvage property. It should be noted Joshua would be part owner of the gravel pits on the south edge of Avery property. It should be noted Joshua had previously given us written permission to enter and search all of his property which surrounds the Avery property. Joshua stated he wished to talk to me about a phone call he had received. He stated that on 11:06:05, at approximately 1900 hours, he received a call at his residence from a person identifying himself as Chuck Charles Avery. Joshua thought this was somewhat peculiar because he does not have regular contact with Charles on the telephone or otherwise. When Charles called Joshua, he asked Joshua, "What's going on down there?" Charles also asked Joshua if we, meaning law enforcement, were searching Joshua's pits. Charles told Joshua he should keep him informed as to what was going on down there because he was not in the area. Charles did make the comment to Joshua he was going to lose at least $1,000 a day for not being able to be in the salvage yard, and he was worried this was going to give him a bad name because of everything that has been on the news. I thanked Joshua for his time, and we ended our conversation. I ended the interview at 1910 hours. Investigator Mark Wiegert, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 146. Type of activity, assist a missing person case. Date of activity, Tuesday, 11:08:05. Start of service at 0630 hours. End of service, 1915 hours. Reporting officer, Deputy Dan Kurcharski. On 11:08:05 at 0630 hours, I, Deputy Dan Kurcharski, responded to the scene at State Highway 147 in Avery Road. Upon arrival, I was given the assignment by Lieutenant Bowie to recover 2 weapons out of a yellow vehicle that was parked by the shop office at the new shop. At 0738 hours, Lieutenant Link, Sergeant Colborne, and I searched a yellow vehicle with the plate of 343JVF and collected 2 shotguns and a belt full of ammunition from the trunk of the vehicle. We ended the search of the vehicle at 0748 hours. Back at the command post, we were given the assignment by Lieutenant Bowie to go to the residence at 12932 Avery Road and conduct a thorough search of the residence. We were instructed to take into evidence any pornographic material, the computer in the living room, any computer-related storage devices, and to take sample swabs of suspected blood spots in the bathroom of the residence. We were also instructed to thoroughly search the residence for any other types of evidence. At 0825 hours, Lieutenant Link, Sergeant Colborne, and I responded to 12932 Avery Road and began the search. I photographed and collected the Hewlett-Packard computer that was in the living room of the residence. Also collected was miscellaneous computer equipment and storage devices from the area around the computer. At 0850 hours, Dan Vos, badge number 702, entered the residence, took possession of the computer, and collected storage devices. At 0855 hours, he left the residence, transporting the computer to be processed for evidence collection. We then began a search of the residence. All three of us went to the back bedroom in the residence and searched for evidence. It was a relatively small bedroom, and we were in visual and verbal contact with each other at all times while searching the bedroom. There were no areas in the bedroom where any of us would have been out of contact with each other at any time, being that it was so small. I photographed collected pornographic material found in the bedroom. I also photographed and collected miscellaneous ammunition found in the bedroom, a cloth rope, and a pillow with a red stain on it. We were nearing completion of the search of the bedroom. I was at the southeast corner of the bedroom. Sergeant Colburn was approximately 2 to 3 feet away from me, finishing up the search. Page 147 of the desk area, and Lieutenant Link was approximately 1 foot from me, finishing up the search of a cabinet located next to the desk. Lieutenant Link had gone through the cabinet, and then he and Sergeant Colburn moved the cabinet around looking for pictures stuck in the back of the cabinet. I was in visual contact when they were doing this, and as they were only a couple feet away from me, Sergeant Colburn began to put the books that were taken out of the cabinet back into it. He was having some resistance against the books. They were caught on something, and he pushed on the books, banging them into the back and top of the cabinet. Lieutenant Link left the room to call the command post for some boxes for the pornographic material that we had found. Sergeant Colburn went back to searching through the magazines under the desk area. I was completing the search of the nightstand. After approximately 2 minutes, Lieutenant Link came back to the room. He entered the doorway of the room approximately 1 foot away from me, pointed to the floor, and said, "There's a key here." He pointed to the floor next to the cabinet by a pair of men's slippers. All three of us looked at the key that was lying on the floor. The emblem on the key appeared to be a Toyota manufacturer's emblem. The key was connected to a blue canvas key fob with a black buckle on the end of it, approximately 2 to 4 inches in length. Immediately, we stopped searching. I photographed the location of the key. I collected the key and placed it into an evidence bag. The bag was a brand new evidence bag out of the stack of bags that I brought into the residence from my evidence kit. I was wearing rubber gloves when I collected the key. When I went to pick up the key, I used a fresh pair of gloves that were new directly out of the package. At the time the key was first found, I had already taken off my rubber gloves from the previous searching because we were almost finished searching the room. At no time did I handle any pieces of evidence or any other items inside the bedroom or inside the trailer with this pair of gloves. At no time did Lieutenant Link or Sergeant Colburn touch or have physical control of the key. From this point forward, I had the key in my physical control. I called the command post and informed them that we had found this key. Special Agent Tom Fassbender and Calumet County Sheriff's Department Investigator Mark Wiegert came to the residence to look at the key. With my gloved hand, I took the key out of the evidence bag and, retaining physical control of it, I showed it to them. They left the residence saying they would be sending a special agent back to take possession of the key immediately to take it to the crime lab in Madison for processing. I secured the key back into the evidence bag and sealed the bag with the red evidence tape, putting my initials on the tape. Special Agent Tom Fassbender and Special Agent Matthew Joy, badge number N516, came back to the residence a short time later. Special Agent Joy took physical control of the evidence bag containing the key. I filled out the evidence property custody sheet and had Special Agent Joy sign that he had taken possession of this piece of evidence. Special Agent Joy left the residence and we continued with the search and the collection of evidence. Page 148 We concluded our search and collection efforts inside the residence and walked around the perimeter of the outside of the residence. I observed, photographed, and collected a piece of duct tape located underneath the front deck of the residence on the east side of the residence. The assignment was concluded at 12:18 hours. At 12:19 hours, Lieutenant Link and Sergeant Colborne and I went to the garage next to 12932 Avery Road. We were sent to look for evidence of a matching tool set of a wrench-type tool found in the victim's vehicle. We searched through the garage, finding no additional evidence to collect or photograph. We finished this assignment at 12:45 hours. We returned to the command post, and Lieutenant Bowie gave us the assignment of collecting weapons and ammunition from the residence of at 12928 Avery Road. Lieutenant Bowie also stated to conduct a thorough search of the residence for any other possible evidence. Lieutenant Link, Sergeant Colburn, and I began the search at 13:26 hours of the residence at 12928 Avery Road. Investigator Steyer gave us a combination to a safe inside the residence. We entered the residence. I opened the safe, photographed and collected 5 rifles, 2 shotguns, and miscellaneous ammunition from the safe. I also photographed and collected the bed sheets from the bedroom nearest the entry door. The bed sheets had red stains on them. I also photographed and collected a pillowcase with red stains located in the living room. After we concluded the search of the inside of the residence, we walked around the perimeter of the residence. I photographed and collected duct tape from the bed of a pickup truck that was parked next to the residence. The plate number on the truck was AC6271. I also photographed and collected a coin purse that was in the glove box of the same vehicle. Inside the coin purse were 4 single-dollar bills, 1 $5 bill, 2 $10 bills, 28 quarters, 1 nickel, and 7 dimes. The search of the residence was concluded at 16:19 hours. All evidence that I collected was kept in my physical control. I transported this evidence to the Calumet County Sheriff's Department and entered it into evidence storage. The only evidence that I did not enter into storage were the 2 items, Hewlett-Packard computer and miscellaneous storage devices taken by Van Oss from the crime lab, and the key that was taken by Special Agent Joy from the crime scene. End of supplemental report for incident number LCA 051103009213. Deputy Dan Kurcharski, number 834, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 149. Type of activity: transport of computer to Grand Chute Police Department. Date of activity: 11/08/05. Reporting officer: Correctional Officer Daniel J. Von Oss. On 11/08/05 at approximately 8 o'clock a.m. at the Calumet County Sheriff's Department Command Post at the Avery's Auto Salvage, I, Correctional Officer Daniel J. Van Oss of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, was instructed by Investigator Mark Weger and Lieutenant Brett Bowie to transport a HP Pavilion computer and miscellaneous computer equipment to Grand Chute Police Department. I was advised to go with Deputy Dan Kurcharski into the residence of Steven Avery and take possession of both item numbers 1 and 2, tag numbers 7616 and 7617. Also with us was a Manitowoc County officer, name unknown, who is one of the evidence technicians for the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department. I stood in the living room and waited for the hard drive or tower to be removed and tagged by Deputy Kurcharski. I also observed the individuals gather miscellaneous computer equipment and storage devices and place them into a brown paper bag. I observed them seal the bag with evidence tape and tag it with property tag number 7617. After the items were tagged and sealed, Deputy Kurcharski and I removed these items from the residence and placed them into the Calumet County Sheriff's Department transport van. I started my transport to the Grand Chute Police Department. I started at 8:58 a.m. with starting mileage of 5199.8. It should be noted that I had called our dispatch center to have the mileage recorded. While waiting for dispatch to enter all the information, 2.8 miles should be subtracted from the 5199.8 mileage. At 10:12 a.m., I radioed our dispatch center to inform them that I was at Grand Chute Police Department with the two items. The ending mileage was 5205.8. I turned both items over to Investigator Mike Veely, and I had Investigator Veely sign the evidence property document, and I also released it to him. I was en route to the command post at 10:18 a.m. Page 150. Daniel J. Van O's, Correctional Officer, Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
So on page 142, we're going to do our review here, or start here, I should say. We were with Jeremy Hawkins, who is the custodian for the evidence, and it's 11:07:05. And we're just tracking these barrels, going along with this. So we have the DCI, which is the Department of Corrections, or actually we have the WSCL, which is the Wisconsin Crime Lab. So they're there with the barrels, and they've got a rear door of a Suzuki Samurai. And while John Ertl from the State Crime Lab, they're processing the barrels, they're going through them. They've got through barrel mark number 4, and we're in the process of going through number 2 when they get called back to CUS. See, everybody's getting called back to CUS. So it almost looks like they went to a little dig site where they thought the dog hit. Didn't quite nail it. Everybody goes back to work. All of a sudden, everybody gets called back to the scene. And what did they get called back to? That's what we need to know. So what they do here is they make a note that the barrel mark number 4 was placed back on the trailer. So where was 2? Was it already on the trailer? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go ahead and scroll down to page 143. So here's where, if they've already got these barrels up here, they've transported 4 on a covered trailer. All right. We're on page 143. Here's a 5th barrel, you guys, because they're talking about Masuzik. I have a hard time with his name, Masuzik. Took into evidence a 50-gallon burning barrel. It was located on the northeast corner of Steve Avery's property. The burning barrel was filled approximately a quarter way with burned debris, and the burning barrel was placed in an enclosed trailer, and then it's transported the burning barrel to the Calumet County Sheriff's Department. So it's all one singular incident. So that leaves us 5 barrels at this point. Okay. Then we're at 144, and we're going to talk about the shop. And this is so intriguing. Okay, so they're given the assignment to go to the shop at the Avery Salvage Yard, the office there, and they are to collect a rifle. But when they get there, they find a rifle, which was a Marlin Model 60 SS 22 caliber semi-automatic rifle, same as Stevens, and they collect 3 weapons and ammunition from the shop. But what else do they get? So they enter the new shop building and enter the private office area. Now, I happen to know that this is Chuck Avery's office. So here's Mr. Charles Avery's office. Inside the desk is in the private office. He finds 3 handguns with ammunition. He finds the 22 caliber semi-automatic pistol in the drawers on the right-hand side of the desk. On the left-hand side of the desk, he finds and collects a Colt 22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. So that's a handgun. And in the middle drawer, catch this, they collect 2 badges. So we've got guns and badges in the drawer. Now, don't get me wrong. Arland Avery was their uncle, I believe, Dolores' brother, and no, it wouldn't be Dolores' brother. It would have been Alan's brother. He was a police officer, and I do believe he worked for Green Bay, and I know he worked for Manitowoc, and it's possible that these are his, but it's just so strange that they're being stored. All in them top drawers are the guns and the badges. Somebody, it gives the appearance, it's suspicious. looks like somebody's playing cops and robbers here, or cops and something else. So I find that very, very concerning. On page 145, we are talking with Josh Randit, who has given permission for them to search through his gravel pits. But he talks about a phone call he got from Chuck Avery, who we just talked about, who's saying that he himself can't watch the property, so he's asking Joshua to do it. Joshua feels that it's, how did he describe it? Peculiar. Because he's not used to talking to Charles even in a regular basis nor on the phone. And then we'll scroll down to 146 with Karchinski, and he was given an assignment by Lieutenant Bowie to recover 2 weapons out of the yellow vehicle, which is parked in front of the shop. Now, we've already got handguns and badges out of the office back there. Now, we're going to go over to this yellow vehicle. I think it's a little yellow Jetta that's parked there, and they're going to get, let's see, from the trunk they get 2 shotguns and a belt full of ammo. And then they're instructed to take any evidence. Okay, so now we jump from the shop. Boom, we go over to Steven's home. And they search they're supposed to get any pornographic material and the computer in the living room, as well as storage devices, and they're to take samples of the suspected blood in the bathroom of the residence, and then search the entire residence for any type of evidence, any other evidence. And note that they do gather the Hewlett-Packard computer that's in the living room, and Dan Van Oss, badge 702, he picks up the computer and the storage devices at 8:55 hours, and he leaves the residence, transporting the computer to be processed for evidence collection. So let's go to 147. We have Lieutenant Link, who is with Colburn, and let's see, who are we with in this situation? Karchinski. So they're all in there, and they're in the back bedroom, Steven's bedroom, and they're Colburn searching through magazines under the desk, and Karchinski completely searches the nightstand. Nothing found. A few minutes later, Link comes back in the room. So Link isn't in the room when Karchinski searches. He enters the doorway of the room approximately 1 foot away from him, points to the floor and said, "There's a key." So Link is not in the room there. But if you guys remember back, I believe it's the 5th or 6th, we have Colburn, who is quote unquote concentrating on the nightstand. Yeah. So is that when the key gets put there? Because it's definitely a planted key in my humble opinion. So Link says, "There's a key," points to the floor next to the cabinet by a pair of men's slippers. So all 3 of them knew immediately, because there's an emblem on the key that's a Toyota manufacturer. Obviously by now they have found the wrap. They're missing the key. They're looking for it. And they immediately stop searching. So then we go down here and we can see where the custody of the evidence gets transferred to. Special Agent Joy took physical control of the evidence bag containing the key. And then I believe it was Van Oss took computer. So we go to 148. Lieutenant Link, Sergeant Colburn, and Karchinski then go to the garage next door. So they're in the Stevens garage, and they're looking for a matching tool set of a wrench type tool found in victim's vehicle. So they must have found some sort of a tool that is in the victim's RAV. And what they're looking for is, where's the rest of the set? Because that would tell them this person had been in the vehicle. It's interesting, though, that if that wrench is laying there, that we don't hear about any fingerprinting on that wrench. And then we come down here and we're at Link, Colburn, and Karchinski. They're at 12928 Avery Road, which I believe is the business itself again. And they enter the residence, they open the safe, photograph and collect 5 rifles, 2 shotguns, and miscellaneous ammunition. These people are ready, you guys. I'm sure a lot of these weapons are handed down from family member to family member. But this can't be the shop, though. Let's scroll back up. That was 28. let's look at the shop address. Okay, let's see. Back up here. It was above that part. So here we go. This is Avery's here. Okay, the shop is 28. 12928 is the shop, correct? So it's 12928. That's Avery's. And then down here, 12928. They're talking about taking bed sheets and red stains on them. I'm thoroughly confused. So they have beds at the shop? Huh. Nobody lives at the shop that I know of. And the bed sheets have red stains on them, as well as the pillowcase has red stains on it. So let's go back up here. Let's just make sure we're reading this right. So, entered the residence. This is not the shop. I collected the Marlin, building near the residence of. Okay, so the shop is very close to this. This is Chucky's residence. They don't give an address for the shop. They say that the building is near the residence of 12928 Avery Road. So they are talking about the shop up there, but they are talking about, where were we? Right in here. All right, so they're entering the safe now at this residence, which is Chucky's, and they do pull out 5 rifles, 2 shotguns, and miscellaneous ammo out of there. They do also find that there are red stains on his bed sheets as well as his pillowcase, which I find kind of unusual. All right, you guys, let's see here. We're now over with Daniel J. Van Oss, the deputy that is our correctional officer, that is in charge of transporting the computers to Grand Chute Police. And he goes on about the property numbers of 7617 and 7616 and how the chain of custody is. But my problem is his mileage does not work. We have approximately, even if we give him the 2 miles he's talking about right in here, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and get eraser. Even if we give him these 2 miles, he's still only going 8 miles. There's no way. Grand Chute is like, I don't know, maybe 40 some miles away. Let's take a look at a map. There's no way he got these computers to his destination in 8 miles. Okay, you guys, so if he left Avery's Road, he would have had to travel on the quickest path, would have been on this road to Kakana, would have taken him 50 minutes because it's 34.1 miles. Why do they have everything screwed up? If he's going through the work to verify his actual mileage, how can he be that far off? What, did he just write it down anyway thinking nobody would check and only go 8 miles? So if this is 30 some miles, we're looking at, well, let's see here. Let's just take this little truck. It would have been right in here that they would have had to take it to. Where did they take that computer? I don't know, you guys. And that wraps us up for this entire week. So we end on a strange question. Where in the world did they really take Steven's computer that's only approximately 8 miles away? All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining me on our daily MaM reading for this week, and I look forward to starting next week with you. It's been the CASO Investigative Reports, and we've completed 15 parts. Pretty good, I'd say. And today we're going to go ahead and share one more of James B. 007, Making a Murderer, Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey. They didn't do it. And it says here, song artist Brett Dassey. Very, very, very neat. And you guys, after all this time that we've been doing all these videos together, I always say thank you, but I really do mean it. I want you to know that the public awareness is what's keeping these guys safe. And so I don't care if it's my channel or somebody else's. If you're sharing, then you're caring. So thank you so much for your support on that. And with that, you guys, it's time. And if you didn't do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. I'll see you again on Monday.